Hey everyone, Cahlen here, and in this video I'm going to talk about how I just got a big giant bottle of apothecary. So this is Tart Cherry Juice, which has lots of benefits, which I'll talk about. But basically I want to talk about how I got it. So basically I've kind of shifted to living my life in a way where I don't just help people if they're paying me or something like that. Like if I see an opportunity to help people without them needing to ask me to, then I do it, and I don't even make sure that they know that I do it, right? But of course people often will notice that nice things have happened for them, okay? And so when I live that way, the people who I do that with, those people do the same back to me. Like they take that cue, okay? And so basically I live in a world where that's kind of going on all the time. And so I'm not worried about, I gotta make sure I'm getting paid for this, that kind of stuff, right? So anyways, I've been helping out. There's some things I've been helping around doing. And every once in a while, Jesse gets a hold of something, like sometimes he gets food from the grocery that has just expired and it's produce, which is really good, like a giant bag of perfectly good avocados, like more than you could eat in a couple of days. And lots of other stuff like huge bunches of bananas and strawberries and like more blueberries than you can eat. Like these things just come and it comes to them and then they have more than they can use, and so it comes to me, right? And so everyone's just thinking, okay, I have more than I need in this case, so I'm just going to overflow it to the people around me, okay? So anyways, that's what happened. So this stuff is pretty cool. Jesse works for, well, he doesn't work for them. He's like I don't know what you call it. So you basically sell this stuff to other people. So he's like, Jesse's an influencer. He does permaculture, and also he's working towards being a breatharian, and he's quite far along with that. Currently, I think for over a year, I think it's quite a bit more than that actually. I just don't remember exactly how long, but it's definitely a year at least, where he would only eat or drink in a 1 hour window every single day. And he's got a full-time job doing like rock work and landscaping, all of this type of stuff out in the hot sun. He doesn't drink at all even that whole day until he gets home, and around 4 or 5 he drinks for about an hour of various prepared juices that he's juiced and prepared in various ways. So that's how far along he is. He's currently now taking a little bit of break from that, I think. But basically it's still pretty much what his thing is. He just lets himself lax a little bit, if he feels it on a certain day. So basically that's what Jesse's doing. He talks about this stuff in YouTube, but also one of the ways that he makes money is, he actually uses Purium. So this is one of the things that he drinks. Is the Purium has lots of different stuff. Their main thing is kind of like, it's like powder. You know how I make my chocolate mix? I made that inspired by Purium, but I needed to make my own because I couldn't really afford Purium, because Purium's a little bit expensive. Like it's kind of worth it if you can afford it, but it's kind of expensive. And so I decided to make my own, even though, and if I could afford it, I would just be using their stuff. Okay, so that's basically how I feel about Purium. It's really good. I would be using it if I was rolling in dough. So anyways, so Jesse uses this stuff and he also sells it. So if people buy it and they use his affiliate code, which I think is Juicy Life, then he gets a commission, and I think you also get a significant something. It's significant. I remember thinking it was pretty significant, whatever I got when I put in that thing. So anyways, if you want some of this stuff, which I'm now going to tell you why you may want some of this stuff, then you can go to the Purium store, and I'll have a link to where you can find this stuff, okay? So you can just go and buy it. And if you want, you can use the Juicy Life thing, and that'll help Jesse out. It's like he gave me this, and now I'm going to pass it on, and he doesn't even know, right? So anyways, Tart Cherry is a very specific type of cherry, and it has lots of benefits. One of the benefits is it is incredibly delicious. Incredibly delicious. Okay, so I have had this stuff before, but again, I can't really afford to have this, and also you have to keep it refrigerated, so I can only have it about half of the year when it's mostly cold enough that this isn't going to go bad faster than I can drink it. So I haven't had this for a while. And so basically I had it again for the first time, and you know, you're supposed to mix this into water, dilute it, but I just like to drink it like concentrated. This is super concentrated. It isn't like something you would drink in a one serving, okay? This is like you drink maybe this a day, right? That's how much you would drink a day. So anyways, I put it in my mouth and I had a sensation in my mouth and I was like, did I almost have a mouth orgasm? And I'm like, it's like, it kind of felt like that. And I'm like, this stuff is just so freaking good. It's incredible. It's amazing. It's so good that it's hard for me to stop drinking it. And so if you're going to get some of this, I would be careful to make sure, I don't know, that you have some way to stop yourself. I have this bucket here, and it's a little bit hard to get this lid open, so I put it in the bucket and then put it away from me. And it's like, well, I'd have to get up and then I'd have to open that bucket. Is that worth it? Anyways, partly I don't want to drink it too fast because I want it to last, but also because, you know, it is basically syrup. So there's downsides to that. Okay, so the benefits. Beyond being delicious, the next benefit that people generally talk about is it improves your sleep. So some people say there's actually melatonin in the cherry juice. And by the way, it has to be tart cherry. It's a very specific type of cherry. Not any cherry will do this, okay? So there's maybe melatonin in it, or it just has some sort of effect on the body which causes you about an hour after drinking it to get kind of sleepy, and not only get sleepy and fall asleep, but also have better sleep. Okay, so that's one of the main benefits that people use it for. Another one is just kind of physical structure, muscle damage, repair, inflammation, heal all. Okay, it basically, it makes, if you're drinking it leading up to something stressful physically, you're not going to get as damaged by that, like a marathon or something like that. You're not going to get as damaged by that, and therefore you won't need to take as much time to heal. And also, the amount that you did get damaged will heal quicker than if someone else had gotten the same amount of damage and hadn't had the tart cherry juice. Okay, so you won't damage as much and you'll heal quicker afterwards. Okay, so that's a really big thing. It's among, I think it's like at the top. If it's not at the top, it's almost at the top, but I think it's like at the top by far of the highest antioxidant content in any fruit. Okay, any fruit juice concentrate anyway. So anyways, it's really high, and it's supposedly, it's not just that it's really high, but it's got a specific combination of those things, which is interesting. Like, we maybe don't fully understand what's going on there, but you know, it looks interesting. It's also good for other things like pain. Okay, so like if you might want to be taking an ibuprofen or something like that, maybe you would be like, oh, maybe I'll just take some tart cherry juice. Okay, so some people say that it actually basically has that type of effect or better. So you're not going to be damaging yourself by drinking this like you would taking something like Tylenol or ibuprofen. And also, it supposedly helps with certain types of arthritis, which are related to the development of crystals in your joints. Like gout is kind of something like this, but this can show up in other parts of your body. So that type of arthritis is something that this helps with a lot. Okay, so anyways, I think it's worth checking out. You can get, you can probably find this in a lot of different places. As you're looking for concentrated tart cherry juice, and I would say definitely organic. I would not drink it if it were not organic. Cherries are among the most pesticided fruit that there is. So definitely organic. And so anyways, this stuff is organic. You can get it at the link that I put down below, assuming I can find it. I probably will be able to find it. Or just get something that's organic, and that has good reviews, I would say. So anyways, just thought I'd share that. I'm really excited about it. And I'm having a really hard time not drinking. You couldn't drink it, like I couldn't really drink a huge amount, like you'd get kind of overwhelmed. It's very strong flavor. It's an overwhelming flavor. It's like you just take a little sip of it and it's like really strong in a like orgasmic way. So anyways, worth checking out. All right, I'll see you guys later.